he has two more shots. After that, his $225 million fortune will be gone forever.
But U.S. authorities arrested a man known as the Dread Pirate Roberts and shut down what's called the Silk Road.
I just honestly thought it would be really cool if I could say, hey, I just traded this, open source internet money for a real world good.
At least maybe just the slightest bit of hope that you have buried somewhere in your head.
Yeah, I mean, it in some ways, like, that hope makes it more difficult because it's like, it's easier if you can just let it be in the past and forget about it.
Bitcoin was meant to be the revolution, the digital gold, the freedom from banks, borders, and inflation. But for every millionaire minted, there's someone else who made a mistake so massive, so irreversible, it belongs in the crypto hall of shame. From forgotten passwords to billion-dollar disasters, this is top 7 Bitcoin fails you won't believe actually happened. Real people, real names, real pain. Number 1. James Howells, the $280 million mistake, UK. In 2013, James Howells, a British IT engineer from Newport, accidentally threw away an old hard drive during a routine cleanup. He realized too late that the drive contained the private keys to 8,000 Bitcoins.
As soon as I put it in the bin at home, I had a second thought, in the back of my mind. You've never thrown a hard drive out before. Why start now? You shouldn't do this sort of thing. But yeah, I didn't take it out. It stayed in the bin and then came down to the landfill site here with the other bags that I brought.
At today's prices, that's more than $280 million rotting in a landfill. James has begged his local council multiple times for permission to excavate the site. He even offered to pay millions in recovery costs and donate a percentage to charity. The council still says no. Too much environmental risk. To this day, James is fighting to dig up the treasure. One wrong trash can, one permanent regret. Number 2. Laszlo Hanyecz, the $670 million pizza, USA. May 22, 2010. Programmer Laszlo Hanyecz makes history by performing the first real-world Bitcoin transaction. He orders 2 Papa John's pizzas in Jacksonville, Florida. Cost? 10,000 BTC. At the time, those coins were worth just $41. Today, they're worth over $670 million. Laszlo says he doesn't regret it. He just wanted to prove Bitcoin could be used as real money.
I just told people I wanted a pizza and I want to pay with Bitcoin. I didn't want a gift card. I didn't want some weird exchange. I wanted to give you Bitcoin and you give me pizza.
Still, May 22nd is now known as Bitcoin Pizza Day, a reminder of how insane the crypto ride has been. And no, Papa John's never gave him a loyalty card. Number 3, Stefan Thomas, the forgotten password, Germany, USA. Stefan Thomas, a German-born programmer living in San Francisco, was gifted 7,002 Bitcoin back in 2011 for creating a simple animation explaining Bitcoin. He stored it on an iron key hard drive, a secure device that only gives 10 password attempts before locking forever. He forgot the password. He's used 8 tries. One more mistake, and his $240 million fortune vanishes forever. He's since put the drive in a secure facility, so he doesn't do anything impulsive.
It would be normally a bug, but because it's so hard to change a protocol that's live that people are running all over the world, it becomes just a quirk in the spec.
But hopefully one day, it'll either be recovered or it'll be finally lost and I can move on with my life.
In interviews, he's philosophical about the loss, but still, ouch, it's the most expensive typo in crypto history. Number 4, Mark Karpelès, the Mt. Gox meltdown, Japan. Mt. Gox, based in Tokyo and run by French developer Mark Karpelès, was once the world's largest Bitcoin exchange, handling over 70% of all global Bitcoin trades. In 2014, it filed for bankruptcy. Why? Because hackers had slowly siphoned 850,000 BTC, worth over $50 billion today. Investors were devastated. Lawsuits flew. Karpelès was arrested in Japan and found guilty of data manipulation, though not theft. He served time, and to this day, many still believe Mt. Gox's collapse delayed global Bitcoin adoption by years. It was crypto's first true mega disaster. Number 5, Gerald Cotton, the mystery death and missing millions, Canada. Gerald Cotton was the founder of Quadriga CX, Canada's biggest crypto exchange. In 2018, he died suddenly in India at just 30 years old, supposedly from Crohn's disease. Here's the problem. Cotton was the only one with the private keys to over $190 million in crypto assets. None of his staff had access. No backups existed. Clients were locked out of their funds forever. Things got even weirder when it was revealed that Cotton had faked user accounts, moved funds off exchange, and ran Quadriga like a Ponzi scheme. Some believe he faked his death. To this day, no one knows where the missing crypto went, or if Gerald Cotton is really dead. Number 6, Dan Reich, the $1 million locked wallet, USA. New Yorker. Dan Reich bought $50,000 worth of a crypto token called Theta in 2018 and stored the private keys on a hardware wallet secured by a 12-word passphrase. Then, he forgot the password. By 2021, the tokens were worth over $2 million, but he was completely locked out. Dan spent years trying to remember the phrase, eventually hiring a team of professional hackers and cryptography experts. After months of work, they cracked it, just in time before the wallet would have bricked permanently. He's one of the rare cases where a password fail had a happy ending, but it nearly cost him his fortune. Number 7, Individual X, the anonymous Silk Road hacker, USA. In 2012, someone hacked the Silk Road, the infamous dark web marketplace, and stole 69,370 BTC from the platform's wallet. That person, known only as Individual X, held on to the coins for almost 8 years. They thought they were untouchable. But in 2020, the US Department of Justice tracked the coins using blockchain forensics and seized $3 billion worth of Bitcoin from an anonymous account. To this day, Individual X remains unnamed, but their stash is now in the hands of Uncle Sam. Even in crypto, crime doesn't always pay. So, what did we learn? Bitcoin isn't just about rocket ships and Lambos. It's about responsibility, risk, and sometimes very expensive mistakes. One lost password, one trash bin, one shady CEO, and suddenly millions vanish. Crypto might be decentralized, but that also means the only person you can blame is yourself. If you learned something today, or if you've ever made a dumb crypto mistake, hit that like button, subscribe for more wild stories, and drop your worst financial oops in the comments below. We'll be back with more internet chaos, fails, and fortune next week. Just remember your password.